so we can have a look. Let's see, where is it? It's right here. Pepsi. Here you go. So it's here. So this is where. No, hang on. Let me see. Make sure this is set up correct. There we go. Okay, that should be better. So I rented out a still. It's here. You can see like there's still a bunch of work to do. This material here on the Pepsi sign itself is matte. So while we have this metal here, this matte logo doesn't look great, and probably some other details should be added. I'm not sure on the metal, like because it's covered in water and other stuff. But also there's no wetness. Like we have the water hitting it, but you know the wet map of the metal being wet isn't there. So that needs to be done as well. So that's all good. Let me just check this. Is all streaming. Yeah, there we go. All right, so chat's here. All right, so we're going to move on to the next part of this. So basically the smoke, the color background here you see, and the water here, you'll see if I come along to about here. All of these emitters, as we went over in the last video, these are emitting smoke. It took, to render this out, took like, it took about a day and a half. It took about a day and a half just to render out all the background smoke. So let me just see if this is. At the timeline didn't move great. No, it's moved. Okay. So it took about a day and a half just to render out this the details here. The water before took just a couple of hours when I rendered the water, just the water hitting the Pepsi bottle in earlier. So I did make a few changes since I was last online. I didn't think it was necessary that, you know, you see every little change that I put in. I can show them with relative ease. As long as it loads. It just takes time, doesn't it, to load in all of the details. You can see down here. Hang on. Put it here. There. It's not loading into this viewport for some reason. It'll load in here, I'm sure. Now I've selected it. There we go. So the different colors are the different colors of these here. So this is the background smoke rendered in. Just to go over these quickly, the Phoenix source is assigned to different spheres. I colored the different spheres so I could see which ones were which. And we've got the outgoing velocity and the color, the RGB color. And you can just take a look at the settings that I've got here. If I select the Phoenix object itself, here you can see the size of the grid, which is really big. Basically, this Pepsi can, I was looking at a tutorial that Phoenix put on their website, and the Pepsi can is bigger than, like about 3 times bigger than a real Pepsi can. And the purpose of that is just to have the physics wrap around it easier and the water wrap around it easier. It was a suggestion made on one of the Phoenix tutorials. They had a water hitting a, it was like a makeup bottle or something, and they made it 54 centimeters tall, just so the, you know, the individual pieces, like, because basically it means that 1 centimeter in this grid isn't a centimeter in real life. So this 0.5 centimeters, 5 millimeters for the voxel size, in reality is like about 1.5 millimeters. We can easily see the size of this if I just isolate this Pepsi can, sorry. Just so, because look, it's taking time. I click on there, it's got to load into the viewport, and I've pressed isolate and it's not doing anything. Well, it is, it's just calculating. So, there we go. And we can go top. And we can, I always just measure by putting a box around things. I know there's other ways to do it, but so this is 37 centimeters tall. So obviously there's no Pepsi cans that tall, but that just is just to give you an idea that when it says voxel size, it's not the actual size of the voxel. I probably need to turn off all of this shading and everything. I don't know. I'm new to using Phoenix, so yeah, that's going to add time and it's not necessary. Select this. All right. It's going to be in, the setting is going to be in preview, right? So preview, auto reduction, active view, show box, show mesh. Particle size, liquid. GPU review. It's probably, I'm not sure. Yeah, it's there. Okay. So if we turn that off, we won't see it. Lighting, exclude, save images during sim export. Okay, fine. At least this will make it quicker to move around in the scene. And that's also why it was so, even though it was taking ages, like it looked really good, right? So that's because the GPU was doing it and it can do it fast. So, all right. So this is the scene as it is. And if I turn off the water, I think preview, particle preview, that's just the particles. That will alone speed it up. This I'm going to need to resimulate because as I explained before, you can't see the wet map here, and it's going to be because hang on, if I look at, is it splash and mist, or it's one of these dynamics foam splash or mist? I think it's mist. Anyway, basically I don't have the wet map on, and it's going to have to recalculate that. So I can do this at some point. Splash mist is enabled. Foam is there. The foam is not enabled. I can enable this. Anyway, I'll have a look. Like, it's not that important right now. It will be important for the final render, and I'll have a look at that closer to the time. But for now, we want to get the next part of the render going. So the next part of it is the words in the front, because we have the Pepsi bottle, we have it being hit by water, and we have the background, but we don't have, like, I want it to say the new slogan from Pepsi, and ideally I want to have the words Pepsi, and I'm thinking about having the words Pepsi like moving towards you, but also to be just in water, so like water's filling up the letters, or and somehow, I don't know, we'll figure something out. Originally I was thinking of doing it with fire, like having smoke and fire, but I think keeping with the water theme will be better rather than just adding in more and more themes. It's going to start getting confusing, I think. So let's find this guy's video, and we need to find the Pepsi slogan, because they have a new one, right, for this new bottle, this new, or not bottle, the new can and the new logo they've got. So and I don't have a long time to stream. I'm only streaming for an hour, so I need to get this done fast. Let's see, Chaos, Phoenix, smoke. If you can hear noise in the background, that'll be my little dog eating something. So we're using this guy's tutorials to do this. He's got playlists here, and you can look through Tyflow. His name's Jazzy, by the way. I could use a different guy's tutorials. It was just I came across this guy, so I'm using his. I'm sure for later streams I will be using someone else's. I had another guy on here who suggested someone, so I'll be looking at his as well. Let's see, VFX and 3D simulations, no plugins, bonus tutorials, tutorial series, Liquid and Pyro FX, Chaos Phoenix. Let's be all in here. Well, I meant the playlist, not to play the whole thing. Let's see. I mean, that would be kind of awesome with the Pepsi can coming through it, you know. So that's also something we can look at doing. It doesn't have to be Pepsi coming through. It can be anything. Also, product smoke reveal. Like something like this would be nice. I'm hoping he's going to play it here. Yeah. So something like that, right? Like that could be cool. But anyway, what we're doing is this one here. Oh, I wanted to do that one too, right? Let me just have a look at this one. I mean, that's something that can be done. I'm not going to bother with it right now. I like the speeding up and the slowing down. So that's definitely something. I was like on this one I'm not speeding up or slowing down, but I think it's something we definitely will be doing. And this is just a smoke blast, but we already have the smoke in the background. So again, I'm not doing this, but that can be cool. So what I'm doing right now is the last one on this one. We've done the other ones already. Let's see. I have no idea why it's taking so long. If I refresh it, it should be faster. There we go. So it's this one here. Okay. So, let me turn this on. I cannot hear what you're saying. Oi! Hang on. That's really loud in my head. Hang on. Turn down his volume. And let's just make sure I've got desktop audio on. Alright, let's do this again.
200, 0.
Evidence. Let's see where we're at.
Then I went to the turbulence and made the strength 200, and the size I think I made 200 as well, which basically will make it chaotic and mix together. And then I went under.
Okay, this we've done already. This is at the end of the last one.
I animated the smoke buoyancy to go up, and I think it all happens around frame 70. So here I would just set a keyframe for smoke buoyancy, go a few frames forward, and set this to 3, or some kind of a higher value, which will basically make the smoke rise up. So I just was kind of playing around, but you can make some pretty cool stuff without much effort. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the third one. The setup.
So this is what we're doing now.
Same, except I would just select the grid and raise it on Z, and then move it down. And then I would select the spheres.
Okay, so we need the logo right now, and then we can do this. So, Pepsi slogan. Thirsty for more. I think there's a little bit more to it. That hang on. Thirsty for more, they said, right? But let's just look for thirsty. Where the hell is it? Oh, it's here. Wanted to show how Pepsi, through its visual identity change, brings to life its brand platform, Thirsty for More. Always trying new things and living new experiences. Okay, that's what they mean by it. Let's just see. We should find some stuff if we just Google Thirsty for More. I don't know. Thirsty for Pepsi, thirsty for more. Okay, could be. I don't know why they're using the old can in that one, but fine. You just see if I've got it here. No. Let's do Pepsi, new cans, new can design. I don't know if it's on here. Control F, thirsty. No. Okay. I'm just seeing if there's more to this logo, this slogan, right? Pepsi. Let's see. Pepsi slogan 2024. Let's see what we get. I just get this one. Get this one. History of Pepsi slogans and taglines. Here we've got a whole bunch of them. I don't think this doesn't go up to now anyway. All right, we can just use thirsty for more. That's what I like. Okay, fine. I don't know. I don't know if there's a particular font they use for it. For more font. Oh, hang on. They had it in that video, right? Let's see. The one we looked at a second ago. Right at the end here. There we go. So something like that. I probably don't have this exact font, but something like this. And if I search thirsty for more, do I get it? Images. Yeah, I've got it here. This is good enough for me. Okay, save image as PNG. I'm gonna go desktop. Pepsi. Pepsi font. And then I need also this Pepsi slogan. Pepsi, because the font here they've changed this as well. Pepsi 2024. I can just use this. I have this already. Oh, here we go. What is it? 843, 800 by 800. What's this one? 234. I just want a large one, hopefully HD. 1200 by 900 is better. This is actually higher than that, just for the logo in the middle. That's higher too, but it's not so clear. Here we go. I don't think this is not, look, it's not loading. So I don't know if it's actually here if I visit the website or not. I thought I had that. Is it here? No. I thought we had. God damn it. Oh, I saved it already, didn't I? Sorry. There we go. It's loaded. Okay. Save image as desktop. It's saving it as JPEG already. Pepsi logo. Okay. So just going to show this. I'm going to open this in Photoshop. Open with Adobe Photoshop, and thirsty for more, also open with Adobe Photoshop. Okay. And, oh God, I always forget. I think it's InDesign, isn't it? Adobe InDesign. I'm hoping I get the right one. I always get the two confused. If I open Creative Cloud. Everything's taking a while here. I'm not still rendering, am I? No. So I'm not sure why it's taking so long. There's nothing happening. It's just sitting here. Oh, we're streaming. That's why it's taking ages. Okay. Photoshop opened with these in. So I'm just gonna... This resolution is not great. Like, when it tries to... basically, I need to get these letters and I need to get them into... I need to get them into Max. So I need to... Let me do it. I'm trying to make it very clear what's what, right? So if I just... Because this is blue and black. I want it to just be blue and black. I think... I don't know what you're doing, Lily.
Me neither.
I'm just going to save this. And here... We just want the Pepsi logo in the middle, actually. So something like this. Okay. Yeah, I can save it. Okay. Let's go to InDesign. Oh, see? It's not InDesign. I always get it wrong. It's the other one. Adobe. Illustrator. So basically we're going to take these images in and we're going to create, put the outline of the letters, and this way we can get them straight into Max and then be using them inside Max. So it's really easy to do, and this is like my entire reason for having Illustrator. There's not really another reason for it. So I'm just going to take... Actually, what I'm going to do is... I'm going to take these and I'm going to put them into this. Gigapixel AI. I use this for upscaling images, and because they're pixelated on the edge of the letters, it will get rid of that pixelation, and then it will do a better job inside Illustrator. So here, apparently I don't have the very, very latest version. So you can see it does a great job. This is an AI program, but it does an awesome job. And I think both of these are fine. Like this one is also... actually, hang on. Is the O really like that? And the R really like this? I mean the M. The M is like this, right? We can try HQ, see if it gives me a nice curve on here. That's better. Low res. Let's give it made it faceted on the edges, look. Like, see how it's faceted? HD is better. Very compressed is okay. Art and CG is also okay. Lines might be good. No, it's gone back to being faceted and stuff. Standard, which is what I think we had before. It puts that little diff on there. So I think HQ is the best. Pardon me. Okay, so that's HQ, and just check the other one. I'm sure it will be fine here. Hang on. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to save these. And it's going to save, just saying, oh, do you want me to save them in the same place? So that's the old resolution. This is the new resolution at 4K. Okay, so now, I had them on the desktop. It's these two here with the 4K. So I'm just going to drag and drop them in here. I don't know if you can drag 2 in or if you have to do them individually, but yeah, I can drag them in. Okay, good. So now I can select this, and if I can remember what to do, I don't remember if you right click. I used to always ask Alex back in the office how to do this. Select, effect. And I'm sure if I wasn't streaming, I'd remember. Oh, hang on. Image trace. It's already on it. Trace. Okay. I have a feeling it hasn't traced out the letters and all I've got is the outside, but I'm not sure. Let's try this one. Select it. Okay, go away. Okay, like that. Trace. I mean, there's on image tracing here because it was the last thing I did, but I don't see that it's traced it. But also, I'm not necessarily going to have... Oh, hang on. Expand, isn't it? Expand. Yeah, there we go. Now it's done. You see? We got the blue around. Okay, good. And then File, Save a Copy, Desktop. And here I have to go to Illustrator. That's fine. Desktop, it can have the same name. And I've got to change this down to like one of the earliest ones. Illustrator 3 will just go with this. Otherwise, I can't import it into Max. And I'm going to say OK. OK. I'm going to reopen a copy of Max where I'm going to bring this in. We can go into this one and right click because it's already traced it. Oh, where was it? Expand, right? I think it's blue all around the outside, so I think that's good. File, save a copy. We're going to save it as this. And again, do Illustrator 3. 3 and 8 I think would both work. I'm not sure if 9 will work or not. So now we've saved both of those out. Now we just need Max to load. God. Okay, now we can import them. File. Just singing for the love of it. File, import, import. Desktop. AI, so we're going to use the Pepsi font. Merge object with current scene, okay. Single object. Oh, multiple. Okay, this outside can go. Yeah, so often it imports 2. I'm not sure why. I'm sure somebody who knows more about this than I do could tell me. I'm just dragging these just so I can make sure there's another one underneath. And we just delete the ones, the extra ones. And then I just need to, what I'm going to do, and normally when I attach, I would go along and say attach multiple and then just select everything here and attach it. But what I'm going to do instead, because I'm not sure if one of them brought in 3, I don't think it did, but sometimes it can. So I'm just going to attach and just click just to make sure I get, just to make sure it's there. I mean, not just to make sure I don't select 3, because if I select an extra one, it's a problem. Okay, and then we move this. Yeah, that's good. So now we've got that. we're just going to check the geometry is okay. And we're just going to put an extrude modifier on. And that looks fine. Like it needs to be capped, capped, and it is. So we're good. Okay, so Thirsty for More is done. And next what we need to do is import the Pepsi logo. File, import, import. And we're going to use the other one, Pepsi logo. Merge object with current scene. Multiple objects. Rename all. Okay, so we've got Pepsi. So again, I don't need the outside. And again, it's brought in 2 copies of everything, which is what we expect, right? Like it's not unexpected. I noticed this. Oh, it wasn't. It was just a glitch in the viewport. Okay. So we're going to take this, and again, we're going to just attach. Boom, 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 and we're going to extrude just to make sure it's good. And we can see here it's good. Okay, this is awesome. All right, now I'm not sure what the size is of these. I imagine they're fairly small, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they're massive. Like I brought them in, but I don't know what size they were before. But let's just see. Okay, so it's 40 centimeters by 11, like my box is, right? So that's okay. Okay, so we take this, and I'm going to use Copy Tool here. I always use this for moving things between scenes, and I'm going to copy it. And I'm going to save this file, save as, just in case, like I don't want to close it and say, no, don't save it. And then suddenly I need it again. So we're going to come in here and go into the Phoenix files and assets. And we're just going to call this Pepsi Thirsty for More logos. Okay. That should be saved pretty fast. We can just close this and go back into the scene. Now we can also close Adobe Illustrator. We don't need this anymore. No, and no. We save those out. That's good. Okay. So I'm going to just save this. Let me make a backup quick before I save it. Go here, documents, it's all in DaVinci, and what am I looking at? Phoenix files, and I believe it's one of these. It's this one here. Water one. Okay, I'm going to just put a backup file here, and I'm just going to actually, I want water one in there. I don't need it anymore. And this, I'm going to just pull it over, drag and drop with right click, so I can just copy it in there. Okay, cool. So, now, opening, oh, sorry, I was going to save first. File, save. I know I've only made a few changes, but I don't want to remember what those changes were if it crashes when I try merging. Okay, we've got these. And we're going to just rotate them. Just for angle snaps on 90 degrees. Okay, we're going to go in the front. So something like this. Thirsty for More is really close. So because of where the camera is and the scene, I have to reduce these, which is also fine. Yeah. I don't know how much I want them getting hit by the water. So that's why I've left it so close to the camera. But obviously for being so close to the camera, I can also just scale it down. Oops. So I'm also thinking of like maybe animating them more. I don't know, animating Thirsty for in one way and more in the other, because if I look in the video, this one, like that's how they did it, right? It just bounces actually. So we could try and do that, or I can just move the whole thing in one way. So it's like every time you no. Basically every time, look, see, it's just blue and black, and I've already got a lot going on. So if I add in more detail, like the more bouncing, it just becomes, because there's so much going on in the background, it becomes distracting, possibly, right? So you have to look at that as well. Oh, for God's sake, go away. Okay. So, so I think what I'm going to do is make this more, scale this down. Let's go into 3. If I scale it, does it scale? Yeah. I don't know. It doesn't scale how I want it to scale. Hang on. Like this. And parent. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so I need it to be almost the same size, like, so you can't see that there's a difference. So there. Okay, so that the 4 more is close enough to being, you know, the same size. So we're going to do that. And then we need Pepsi. So do I do Pepsi first? Pepsi, thirsty for more. It makes more sense. Or do I do the slogan thirsty for more and then Pepsi at the end? So we can do either. And we can move the keyframes around, so it's not really too much of a problem how we do this. This is not 8 centimeters extruded, by the way. What I'm going to do is just reset the X-form on this, because I don't want that to be a problem. Because I've been scaling everything, right? So basically there can be a problem when I try to make it interact with the environment, because it thinks it's a different size to the actual size it is. So it's always a good idea to reset the X-form. And just remember, if it's in a group, you cannot reset the X-form. Convert to edit spline. And then if I put on an extrude, you'll see that's 8 centimeters. So just because I've been scaling it down. So 4 is closer to that. Okay. And now the reason I rotated it was simply because if I don't rotate it, it's going to think, like, it's going to get confused. When I put the extrude on, it's going to be extruding out sideways and stuff. So you got to have it facing upwards so it extrudes correctly. Okay. Let's come out of isolation and let's have a look. So right now it's like this. Okay. And we can, maybe we can just scale this, animate a scale of this. Anyway, I have to think about that, how I want it to appear. I kind of like the bouncing, and I kind of don't as well. Let's move the Pepsi logo down. So if I'm going to have Pepsi there, I need to scale it up. Pepsi is going to be more like this, right? I don't need to have it exact. I just need to have it roughly how it's going to be. So I'm going to rotate this again 90 degrees. And delete the extrude. And reset the X-form. And right click and convert to edit poly, edit spline, sorry. And then chuck an extrude back on. And this is pretty much the size it came in as, right? Like, there's not a massive difference. I'm going to set this back to 4 though. Okay, and I might change that again. So we can have a look at what this guy was doing as well. Not this one, but this. We can also have a look at, like, I'm going to use this tutorial for thirsty for more. And I just copy this. We can go back to this guy's site.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the
Pause this. Do his playlist again. We want Phoenix, but we want the liquid tutorials. So we're just going to pause this, and I want to see like liquid filling something up. I imagine we just do it the same way we fill it up with. No, you don't, do you? It will need to fill up quickly and then like explode. Otherwise, there's no point. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do the same. I'm not going to do this because there's nothing easily here. And even though I could figure it out, it's going to take me like 3 times longer than I want to spend on it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. I need to animate these letters. So let me just think for a second. Pepsi, thirsty for more. The thirsty for more is going to come at the end. Pepsi is going to come earlier. I think we're going to go... Oh, and hang on a second. The camera's animated too, right? So let's just see this camera animation, because we don't want to clip the camera. So the camera comes to here. And it starts off back there. So we're going to come through, and it's going to... Thirsty for more is going to appear about here. Yeah, we're going to... Because, like, this animation, right? I've done 300 frames. So 25 frames is a second. So it's what? 12 seconds. Yeah, 12 seconds. So from the beginning, getting hit with a splash of water, getting the smoke in the background, and getting thirsty for more. So if the thirsty for more and Pepsi lasts 6 seconds, like, that's quick. But I don't want to do it any longer. That's fine. Maybe in the future I'll set them at 15 seconds, but for this one, I'm happy with 12. Okay. So the Pepsi I'm going to want to appear at, like, because he's moving towards it, I don't know if I need to move. I can just leave them as they are. And 150 is what? If each frame is 25 seconds, it's 7 seconds in. So 7 seconds in, Pepsi appears, and then that's going to last 7, 8, 9, 10. No, not 10 seconds, because I've only got thirsty for more than for 2 seconds, which is crazy. I might put the Pepsi back earlier. Let's say if I put it at 100. Oops. 100 would be, what, 4 seconds? So 4 seconds of nothing, and then it comes up with Pepsi, and then 4 seconds of Pepsi, and then 4 seconds of thirsty for more. I'm probably going to overlap Pepsi and thirsty for more slightly. And I don't know if this is the best idea. It's just an idea, right? So here, and Pepsi, we can just go object properties and renderable turn off. And I don't have to worry about the other forces interacting with it right now, because I don't have to worry about the other forces interacting with it because they've already been calculated. So they were calculated without it in place. So it filling up will interact with the forces around it, but the forces around it won't interact with it. If I wanted to, I could make it so they do. But I'd have to recalculate them with it in place. And to be honest, I don't want them to, so that's fine. So let's see. Sorry. I turned off renderable, and I'm going to turn on see-through, and just click OK. And thirsty for more, I'm going to do the same. Object properties, turn off renderable, and turn on see-through. Just so I can see what's happening inside it. So I'm trying to think of like these moving. I don't know if it's a good idea to have it moving down. Everything's moving in. And having another motion where people's eyes, they're already focused in the middle of the screen. So having their eyes going to the top because this appears and then sliding down probably isn't a good idea. So let me just hide it. I'm going to change this name just so I have it. Thirsty for more. We're going to do Pepsi first. Hide selection. I'm going to worry about Pepsi first. I kind of like the size of it here. And if it lasts for 4 seconds, it goes from 100 to 200. So it's going to be here when it finishes. So that's fine. Those sizes are fine. So now I'm going to need the balls in there. So I'm just going to open this. Open. Take one of these. Drag it over. Copy. Group detach. Group close. Take this. Where's the Pepsi? Here. Okay, we're going to just take this and the Pepsi. And this is going to go down in size. Something like this. Into there. And it's still too big, so we can make it smaller. Okay, the Pepsi doesn't need to be this wide. We can put that at 2, I think. And here we go. Okay. And I just want to check something. If I edit poly and collapse this. No, it's because it's... I just wanted to see if this would change, because this is a weird color, but it's because I've made it see-through, that's all. Let me just come in here. I never check these splines to make sure they're good. All good enough. Normally it does a good job. So yeah, I think they're fine. Okay, and we're going to collapse this. Actually, I'm going to save it now. Let me do a backup. Just if I need to come back to it, if something isn't fine and it's not collapsed, then I can easily fix it. So we're just going to back that up there. I was right clicking and dragging it in case you're wondering how I got those options. And then go File, Save. It'll save quickly. There's a lot of reference data in this file that's just referenced to other locations, so it does it quickly. Collapse to. Okay. It's just easier not to have it confused. So if it's collapsed to, it doesn't have to know, okay, it's the spline, okay, it's been extruded, okay, it's an edit poly. It doesn't have to calculate 3 things. It can just calculate where everything is. All right. So now we have this here. So let's go back. Let's see what he was saying in his video.
The smoke is basically still being attracted to the ladder, so everything can stay the same here, and we can just go under simulation and run the sim again. Alright, so I ran the sim and it didn't work, and that's because we need to go here.
So let me just take this. Just creating the simulator here. And the grid, I believe we need this height. What am I looking at here? Z9, okay. Something like this. Maybe even higher. Like, I would be happy to have the Pepsi and the other slogan moving downwards, but then I need to have this kind of theme throughout the whole thing of things moving down and across the screen. And the theme in this one is moving towards, so I need to keep it so, it's not confusing for people. All right. So let's have another look. He is just saying I did the same as before, right? So I'm just thinking he's got fire, he's got turbulence, and he's got this, and they're all assigned to this. So let's just select all this and come out of isolation, and let's select the turbulence, and let's select the body forces, and let's select 2 of these, and let's isolate this and the turbulence. Okay, this is just creating pressure. That's fine. So it's going to do it on everything in the scene. It's not assigned to a specific thing. This is assigned to stuff, so we're going to just delete all of these. Remove. Oh no, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't want to remove those. Okay, what I want to do is copy these. I can just drag them forward, copy, and let's give them a name just so we know. Pepsi emitter 01, and just take that, copy that, and call the other one Pepsi emitter 02, source rather, but emitter, source, whatever. Let me just keep it clear there. Source. Okay, and this body force is assigned to tube 001, so we're going to need another one. Just drag and drop across, copy, and we're going to say instead of 002 we're going to just put Pepsi, just so we know, or Pepsi logo, just so we know that's what it's on, because we're going to end up with 3 of these, right? Because we're going to need it for the other logo as well. Okay, so now we've got this, we've got these 2, and we've got this, and turbulence I can ignore for now. Okay, so this body force, we can select this body, shape 05. I thought I changed this to Pepsi logo. I didn't, did I? Pepsi logo. Okay. It's just you don't want to be selecting things later and it's, you know, anyway. And here. And here. Ooh. It removed all of the emitter nodes when we did it. So I'm going to add this one here. And we're going to change these around. He's only got 2, but he's just showing. In his scene, he's got 2, but he doesn't really only have 2. He's just using 2 to show. He's probably got more like 6 or 7 or 8. So we can just, oh, sorry. Alt W. So I isolate, so front. Okay. And smoke, Pepsi, and I do A001 because I don't know what color this is going to be right now, and then I can select all of them at once. And I'm going to do an instance of these. Instance. And I'm going to want like 3, I think, in each letter. 1, 2. And I don't know which ones exactly. I'm going to have 2 different colors here, so I don't know this is the best location to put them. I'm just putting them somewhere. Okay. So obviously if I animated this to get bigger and these were, you know, sending out smoke, then as the letters get bigger, it's going to try and refill them, and it's going to keep adjusting to try and fill the new size of the letter. But we're not having it because it's moving. We're just leaving it static, so that's fine. I'm going to press F3 so it's easier to select them. I want like these ones. Oops. These ones are going to be, I'm going to make them the one color, and they're going to be assigned to the one thing. We're going to make it green. And why did I do that? That's fine. Okay, this is good. These I don't want to be blue because they're going to get confused with the other spheres I've got. So I'm just going to change these to I want to make them yellow, let's say, just so they're easy to see. I'm going to select everything. Oh, they are there. Okay, fine. So this one, add many. Oops, cancel. We're going to add. And I'm going to add all the green ones. Oh, that's already added. That's why. Oops. I got to click add every time. You know what? I can just change these letters. It's going to be easier. This is called Pepsi, Smoke Pepsi A. Just do Control C. And just select all of these. Oh, I missed off. Oh, damn it. Okay. We can put this here. And put this one up here. I know it moved a bit. I don't really mind. Okay. All right. So select all the yellow ones. And I got to change the colors. So we're going to go Tools, Rename Objects, Selected, the base name, just paste that in, and we're going to call this B, and the space, and numbered, base number 001. Okay, step, okay, one, it's got, okay, fine, rename them. That's fine. So we've now got A, and we've got B. So if I come back, and select this guy, I can go add many, Smoke Pepsi A. I thought there were more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, because I had the other one selected already. That makes sense. And then here, add many, and we want B, which is here. All right. Now, right now we have the same colors as the background. I'm not sure how good an idea that is. I think, like, what's this one? This one is also blue. We had like pink, right? So do we want to stay with this, or do we want... I think for now we can just stay like this. I mean, that color, obviously I just changed it, so it's not going to be the same. Come on, why can't I select this? You want a kind of electric blue, right? So, okay. All right. And this body force, I forget what this does. He talks about it when he adds it in, but I know it's animated. Here it's at 100, here it's at 100, here it's at 100. Okay, so this is keeping it inside the Pepsi. And I have to just think of this quickly. This is also animated. You can see the keyframes here and here. So if I come back over here, if I go open if I open the mini kernel editor, I always forget what this damn thing's called. Outgoing velocity. So it's at 1200, and then it drops down. And what we want to do instead is we want to take this outgoing velocity and we want to make this 0. So we want to see absolutely nothing for the beginning of the beginning of the animation. And then we want to see something, like I said, starting at frame 100. So we're going to take this. I can take this and move this over to frame 100. Actually, I'm going to move this to frame 101 first, and then move this to frame 100. And then take this and, yeah, about 150. We want this to fill up fast. Oops, I moved just where the frame here, I moved it by sliding that over. 151. Okay, so we're going to see this should fill up pretty fast. I think this might be overdone at 600. So we can try 300, just because the letters are quite small in reality. And maybe this isn't enough, but we can have a look. So what I need to do is select this guy. I actually haven't made any changes to this, so this is not going to work. Let's just see when he goes over the when he goes over these settings.
Phoenix FD, Fire and Smoke Sim, Auto Grid, and just drag out a grid like this that covers your letters. Then we need to create a few emitters. So basically, if you look at this example, I have several. Create a scrollable, and then write helpers, Phoenix, PHX source, and just create a regular source. Let's add this sphere. Click, go to Object Properties, and make it not renderable. And then right click again, go to Phoenix FD Properties, and make it not a solid object.
Let me just make sure these are not solid objects. I don't think any of these are, but we need to just check. Object properties, sorry, Phoenix properties, open Phoenix properties. Okay, it's not a solid object. And this Phoenix properties, it's got a solid object. I just need to check something. I need to just select everything, come out of isolation mode, select this guy, go back into the isolation mode. Let me just check the Phoenix properties for this. Solid objects is off. Okay, so I think that's all we did. So Control A, deselect this. I gotta turn off the solid objects on here. Phoenix solid object. Okay, that's fine. Pardon me. Okay. Now, where were we?
Object.
I'm trying to see
Then
the
we're gonna go
settings for
under
this box.
Helper, Phoenix, PHX source, and just create a regular source. Let's
We've done all
add
this.
the sphere
This
as
is done.
goes
This is
iso-
done.
And then we can turn off temperature, leave smoke at, and then we can turn off temperature, leave smoke at 1. And if you want to do colored smoke, just enable RGB.
I'm sure I've left smoke. Let's just check. Because it's a copy of the other one, right? So here, smoke is on, RGB is on. He actually has particles turned off. I don't know why I have particles on. There we go. Okay.
And then you can pick a color. So let's make this one maybe a light blue.
I'm just
And
going to skip
copy
forward.
enough and hit move them and raise the thing. Just make this stuff confined GS knows that we want better.
Oh, here we go. Now we're on.
So, and move them inside.
Okay.
And then we need to go into the Phoenix settings here. So for the grid, just raise the resolution a little bit, and then
Okay, the resolution for the grid is
under
fine.
Dynamics, we can basically leave everything at default. You can increase the quality to about 30, which will
The quality of the object, where is it? Where was it? It was in Dynamics. Quality to 30, and he'll tell us why.
just make the smoke interact a little better with the letters. And actually under grid, we need to select confined geometry and select the letters as our confined geometry.
Okay, grid, confine geometry, and select the geometry.
This way Phoenix knows that we want to only have the simulation happen within the geometry of the letters. And then let's go under rendering, cutter geometry, enable it, and again select the letters.
Okay, I don't want cutter geometry
So
for
way,
this.
If any of the smoke were to escape the geometry, this cutter basically cuts it out and only will allow you to render the smoke that's within the letters. Now, since we're doing colored smoke, we need to go under output and enable RGB. And then we need to go under volumetric
Output. Let's see, output and enable RGB bit. Oh, it's grid RGB. Sorry, my bad. What's he got turned off? He's just got temperature, smoke, and RGB on. That can go off. Okay. And then he's gone to rendering, right?
Options, smoke
Yeah.
color, and
He's gone rendering. Render, was it render presets? No, volumetric, sorry. Rendering volumetric options. Okay, smoke color
say based on RGB.
based on RGB.
Preview, you can disable everything here and then just enable the GPU preview.
So preview, disable. It was all of these, right? Yeah. Disable all of these, and then
And then under output,
hang on.
here and then just enable the GPU preview.
Okay, so disable RGB and enable GPU down here, just so we can see it as it's
And
forming.
then under output, just select where you want to simulate this.
Yeah, I better do that, otherwise it's going to be a problem. Output. Let's browse. It's going to just do it otherwise on top of all these files I already have, and I don't want that. So we've got Phoenix, Pepsi Smoke, Phoenix. This was the first one, which is the water. I don't want to change the I can change the name, but now I have to tell it where to find the files again. So I'm just going to leave it there. Pepsi logo, Phoenix. I just capitalized it because the other two are. And then give it a name. Pepsi logo, Phoenix. Save. And even though I know input input is the same as the output, I don't know. I always browse anyway to it. Pepsi logo, Phoenix. And it wants a name. Hang on, I gotta come back here. Browse. For God's sake. Pepsi logo, Phoenix. I gotta rewrite it. Pepsi logo, Phoenix. Control C, save. And this is the input. Browse. It's in exactly the same place. I can now paste that in. Okay, so now these are the same. Should be anyway. Underscore hash AUR. I can put that too. I'm not sure if I need to, but underscore. Yeah, I never see where the hash is on here. Where the hell is the hash? There. 1, 2, 3, 4. And .AUR, right? Okay. I just always feel safer having it in there, but it's fine. At some point I'll stop doing it, I'm sure. Okay. And then he says what?
Into. So I've
Hang on.
You can disable everything here and then just enable the GPU preview. And then under output, just select where you want to simulate this into. So I've simulated a few frames.
Okay, so he was doing that, render cutter, and then here we want it more like this one.
Letters, right click, Phoenix FD properties, and make them not a solid object. This way, the smoke will be attracted to the shape of the letters, but it will not bounce. Helper,
Okay, that's for you.
Phoenix, and create a body force. And select the letters as our body force. And now we need to select the letters, right click, Phoenix FD properties, and make them not a solid object. This way the smoke will be attracted to the shape of the letters, but it will not bounce off the walls. As you can see here, there's nothing obstructing the smoke, yet it is taking on the shape of the letters. So I hope that's clear. And then for the body force settings, you want to give it something that's pretty high. So I would say maybe 700 for strength. We don't want any fade start. Suppress orbit, you can do 1, which will basically force the smoke to stay in place better. And that's about all you need. And then one thing that I
Okay, so we're coming here to smoke buoyancy.
Then I went to the turbulence and made the strength 200, and the size I think I made 200 as well, which basically will make it chaotic and mix together. And then I went under dynamics and I animated the smoke buoyancy to go up. And I think it all happens around frame 70. So here I would just set a keyframe for smoke buoyancy, go a few frames forward, and set this to 3 or something.
So the smoke buoyancy, we can do this. I don't know, like it's going to fill up, right? And we've got it between 100 and 200. So if we go to about 180, and we take this, and smoke buoyancy was where dynamics, right? And he set it to 3. So it's not going to work. His settings are not going to work on ours because we got different sizes and stuff. His is to real world scale, mine isn't. But anyway, we can come in here and smoke buoyancy is here. We can turn on auto key and we can set the smoke buoyancy up to I'm going to try double, so I'm going to set it up to 6. And that could be wrong, yeah? And then I'm going to go back 1 and set it down to 0. And go 1 afterwards. That should also be 6. And over here should also be 6. And earlier, buoyancy is nothing. Okay, good. So that's set how we want it to be. Turn off auto grid. I mean auto, not auto grid, auto key. And back in here.
Some kind of a higher value, which will basically make the smoke rise up. So I just was kind of playing around, but you can make some pretty cool stuff without much effort. So without any further ado, let's just jump into the third one. The setup basically stays the same, except I would just select the grid and raise it on Z and then move it down.
Okay, because the smoke's got to move through the grid, right? So it has to be, the grid has to be bigger than my viewport. I don't want smoke getting stuck at the top. I want it to disperse. Like that's my idea anyway. So let's just come out of isolation. Let's see what we're looking at here. We're looking at this. Oh, I didn't need to come out of isolation, but something like this. And then the grid size. Here we go. So if I can go in here and then we can see. So the yellow is the size of the viewport, the camera rather, that's the camera outline, and this is the size of this. So I need this to be wider because I'm hoping it, and taller because I need that smoke to disperse, right? So I need it to disperse outside. Or I'm hoping it does anyway, otherwise, yeah. So something like this, and we're just going to check from 100 where it is. So that's fine. And then to 200, that's also fine. Okay, good. It's made it much bigger, but it's going to work. I hope anyway. Turn off 2D pan zoom mode. So we're back looking at what we're looking at. All right.
Then I would select the spheres, and remember that the smoke is basically still being attracted to the ladder, so everything can stay the same here, and we can just go under simulation and run the sim again. Alright, so I ran the sim and it didn't work, and that's because we need to go here and disable the confined geometry, and then go under rendering and disable the cutter geometry.
Hang on, just answering this guy's question. So the idea of the simulation, I don't know if you're still in watching or not. No, you've left. Well, I'll answer you in case you come back. I can't quite understand why I'm watching everything else except Real Phoenix FD. Because we're doing it? I don't know. And what is the idea of the simulation? Well, we're just simulating the Phoenix. We're just building Phoenix. Like, I don't know what you want to watch. Like, the animation of Phoenix is going to take a lot of time to build it and to do it. So I'm just learning Phoenix right now. Yeah. In case he comes back. So I don't know. Um,
Still being attracted to the letter. So everything can stay the same here, and we can just go under simulation and run the sim again. Alright, so I ran the sim and it didn't work, and that's because we need to go here and disable the confined geometry, and then go under rendering and disable the cutter.
for God's sake, what did I click on?
The smoke is tree, and then go under renderation and run the sim again. Alright, so I ran the sim and it didn't work, and that's because we need to go here and disable the confined geometry.
You just make sure I've done that. In grid, confine geometry.
And then go under rendering and disable the cutter geometry, because we don't.
Okay, I already disabled the cutter.
For this first example, but now we need the smoke to actually be able to go everywhere, so we can disable that. And now if I hit sim, okay, so everything's working fine. The smoke is being attracted to the letters and taking the shape of the object. So what I would do now is just animate the smoke to die off sooner, because you don't need that much. So maybe I would only do this for about 20 frames, and then what you'll end up with is basically this kind of a result. So super simple tutorial today. I hope that you guys found this helpful. If you are a beginner,
Okay. So I don't need all of these balls. You go top view just so I can select it easier. Come across, select this, deselect camera, select these. Okay. Come like this. Select these. Come down. I just need one of each. We can delete these. We can always add more afterwards if we need to. Okay, and these are going to be... hang on. Let me just select instances. It should be 2, right? Yeah, good. Okay. So here, I think something like that. And then I need to put these below the camera, so we can put them down here. So now it should be smoke coming up and then attracted to the Pepsi. Actually, hang on. Control A. Open this up. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to select both of these. I don't know which one I need. And isolate. Body Force Pepsi logo. That's all we need. I don't need this one. Control A. Just deselect this. Alt Q. Okay. And now we're going to try rendering from not rendering, but animating. And we're going to see where it goes. Simulation. Start. Stop. Remove. Remove. Remove, 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 remove. And second one, oops. Remove, 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 remove. So this should not at the beginning be emitting, right? So I think this I set to 70 and 160. And this one I set to 100. This is Smoke Pepsi A 002, which I guess is this one, yeah. So I just forgot to animate the other one. And just to open this up, I can select both of these actually. And just open this up, and we can just then easily make them the same. Yeah. scale. There we go. Meow. God damn. Okay. And then we want select. So this one here needs to be 0. And these ones here need to be, what, 300, I think? And these ones here, this one here is 101. So we're going to set this at 101. And this bottom one is going to be set at 100. Okay, so we're now going to animate this again. And take a look. So we should be seeing nothing until frame 100. And then it's a matter of how quickly it rises from 100 to 200. Yeah, that's a good idea. Moves to left and right, yeah. I could put them left and right. Am I gonna animate today? I'm not gonna animate everything today, no. I'm not gonna I'm gonna simulate this today, yeah. The Pepsi, and then I guess tomorrow I'll be simulating the logo, the other logo, the and then it's just going straight through, right? It's just hitting a box. And then it should just stop. Yeah, it just dies. But what it's not doing is going to the Pepsi. All right, stop this. So I'm not sure. I'm thinking that the what was it, under grid, right? Confine geometry. I don't know. He said we don't need it on in the tutorial, right?
Only helpful for this first example, but now we need the smoke to actually be able to go everywhere, so we can disable that. And now if I hit sim, okay, so everything.
What version of Phoenix? I don't know. It should be the latest one, but it might not be the very, very latest. It might be one before. Yeah.
It's working fine. The smoke is being attracted to the letters and taking the shape of the object. So what I would do now is just animate the smoke to die off sooner, because you don't need, and set this to 3 or some kind of a higher value, which will basically make the smoke rise up. So I just was kind of playing around, but you can make some together. And then I went under dynamic.
You were successful on 3.5. 3.5. I don't know. Like, Phoenix version. I'm not sure where it says it, to be honest. If I click on here, about, here we go. 5.1. It's 5.1. If you had to have these effects, you would have made 2 emitters. I have to, right? Listen to this one. Unless you mean... Yeah, I got 2 sources. Yeah. One to vaporize till the text height. Okay. Yeah, I can. I don't know. I'm gonna try and follow what this guy's saying in here and see if I can get it to stick to the letters. This one, like the rest is fine, right? The other two things I've done, I've had them come. Where is it? Like right now, I've got it looking like this. So I've got the can, I've got the water, I've got smoke in the background. I'm just trying to do the Pepsi logo and the other logo. So these are animated. Yeah, I don't know. There's different ideas. I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do, right? There's a lot of different different ways you can do it. I'm just trying to follow this so I can get this one working, and then we can look at different ways. Yeah.
I think I made 200 as well, which basically will make it chaotic and mix together. And then I went under dynamics and I animated the smoke buoyancy to go up. And I think it all happens around frame 70. So here
I want to try, one thing I do want to try is with this. Yeah, I've turned back on confined geometry. So I just want to try this again. Let's see if I can go from here. It's just going to start from the beginning every time, but it's fine. Yeah, piece of cake. Phoenix always does exactly what you want it to do. It's whenever you try to learn a new thing, like, yeah, I can render, but learning, I figured like the best way of learning Phoenix is to do lots of different Phoenix things and following a number of different tutorials. And I figured I can just do it on my own or I can stream it. So I don't know. Maybe it's useless to stream it. Maybe I should just be doing it on my own, but I figured I may as well since... Hang on, now it's not doing anything? Oh, okay. Well, confined geometry definitely doesn't work then, right? Because it's not inside the geometry, is it? That's why. Stop. Okay. So let's just check this is correctly going to the geometry. Where is it? Confirm geometry. Okay, turn that off. But there's nothing here saying it needs to go to the geometry, so I'm not sure how he did that. Hang on.
I would just set a keyframe for smoke buoyancy, go a few frames forward, and set this to
Okay, cool.
Or some kind of a higher value, which will basically make this
You could do
look
the same
like
with Houdini using Houdini.
was kind of playing around. But you
I had
can
people
make
ask me to do all sorts of things. They asked me if I can do Blender. They asked me if I can do Cinema 4D.
this setup basically
And
except I would
since I use Max, I was like, well, yeah, if you hire me to do something and I need to, then I'll learn it. But
it down
there's no point in learning every 3D program if I'm not using them.
the spheres. And remember that the smoke is basically still being attracted to the letters. So
How is it being
everything
attracted to
stays the
letters?
same here. And we can just go under simulation and run the sim again. Alright, so I ran the sim and it didn't work, and that's because we need to go here and disable the confined geometry and then go under rendering and disable the cutter geometry because we don't
Oh, hang on.
need that
That's
anymore.
supposed to be on there, right? Hang on. It's this one that's assigning it there. Hang on. The body force. Stream Houdini's problems in learning. Yeah, you could do. You could do. I mean, I just use OBS. I just do it all through the one computer. You can just download OBS and then attach it, you know, sync it up to YouTube and just try. It's not so hard. Like, it might take an hour to set it up, but after that you're kind of good. I set this max distance really high, I think. Let me see. I'm gonna come down and I'm gonna set the strength. I don't know if I should set it higher or lower. I'm gonna let's try 1000. I'll probably have a look at this in a minute. Okay. Start. It's not hard to do set up the streaming. I mean, you need a powerful enough computer that you can do streaming and work in Max at the same time, because I noticed it definitely slows down Max here. So, or you can get two computers and set up so it streams from one, and you use Houdini or what have you on the other. It's just not staying there, right? Oh. It looks like it's pulling it down to the letters, but it's like too much. So it's just going round and round in circles. Yeah, so it's definitely working, just everything's too... Here, I need to turn it off. I need to animate it off. Stop. Okay. Body force. We can worry about this animation. It's turned off here at 220 or something. I need it to turn off at 200 even earlier. Max distance. If I put this at 1 and then start again, like, I don't know. I'm just testing things. I don't know what they're doing. I should be looking in there. Keep all supplementary icons inside of container to simulate. So you think like keeping these inside this will help? Should that even make a difference? Or is it just help to know what's what? Like that it's for this container. I'm not sure why I would do this. So it's trying. Okay, fine. So we can see what's happening by my crazy change. Stop. Here we can put this here. Just go top. I don't know. Search together net container is at a tab of objects that are affected. The body force. I mean, it is designated, right? It's just... I don't think it matters where I have it in the scene. So this is max distance from the object. See, it's just shooting out because the strength is so high. But it has to be much higher. Something like this. Strength. If I set this up like really high, crazy high, and then start, what happens? The body force should be designated in a container also. Let's try to search together in a container. Is that a type of objects that are affected? Yeah, we can. I have to stop streaming in a minute though. Oh, I got other things I gotta do. So, but I will be searching for sure later on just to see, you know, what I'm doing wrong and how to fix it. And I'll have this fixed today and have this working today. And then tomorrow I can have a look. That's kind of crazy. That's shooting out stupidly fast. I want to see what it does when it stops. if it sucks it in or not. I don't think it will. It's too much. It's just going around it, right? Stop. It can also just be that I have the like the grid. This is set. I just made it so the resolution is the tabs, the modifier tabs of the container. I mean, this is the fire simulation, resimulation. Oh, resimulation is not important. That's the simulation. This is the that was the grid. This is dynamics. This is the fuel. Nothing. Scene interaction. Nothing. Output is here. Input is here. Preview is here. We made some changes on this. See if it, I don't know if that's full. There you go. Now you can see everything. Rendering is here. And export's not important. This is just set super high. I think 1000 should be okay. I think that the problem could be, I'm not sure. I think the problem here can be this, the outgoing velocity can be, it can be that it's too high, right? It's set to 300. So we can change that down to 200. Oh, sorry, wrong thing. Just select these. This is in the wrong place. That should be 150. And this should be 151. And then these can go down to 200, I guess. Body force to the scene interaction. Yeah. I'm not sure how I would do that. It's a sign to that. I'm sure it's just these settings are just incorrect. That, and the only other thing I can think of is my grid. The resolution is like it's set at voxel size at 1 centimeter. So if I come down to something like this, like it'll take longer to figure it out. I remember the days when I touch by touch without tutorials making this work. Yeah, that's what I'm kind of doing. Well, I'm using a tutorial, but I'm just changing things without having any idea what it's actually doing, right? Oh, fuck's sake. The scene interaction tab. Try add there the body force. Oh, okay, fine. I get what you're saying. Hang on. Pause this. Scene interaction here. And you're saying add the body force. Okay. And make that include, right? All right, let's go back to resume. But the body force should work without that, right? Like, because it's not on the exclude list, so it should automatically be including it. I don't know. It should be, but what it is, if it is or not, is another factor, right? So it's just running through. When it gets to 100, it'll start animating, but it'll take like 3 times longer than before because of the increased resolution. It's not doing anything now. I'm gonna stop it. I don't know. Oh, because everything else is excluded, right? Oh, for fuck's sake. So the balls themselves are excluded and everything else. Yeah, I'm gonna have to remove that. Just because, or I add everything in here to it. But that's not gonna make a difference. It shouldn't make a difference. Yeah, no, it's chaos. The number of times I'm like, oh, do this. Yeah, it shouldn't do this, but it does. So this is the way you're supposed to be doing it. So yeah, chaos and 3ds Max. Yeah, yeah, the strength. Yeah, was high. I mean, I set it at 1,000. We can set it back. I can set it down to 1 or 2. I put it up really high to see if it would pull it in, but I don't know if the strength, I don't know if 1 means it's really strong or 0 means it's completely strong and 1,000 means it's hardly strong at all. I just don't know. And obviously it's going against the velocity, right? So it's the strength versus the velocity. It just passes straight through it. It looks like, right? But it doesn't because it pulls it back down again. See, right now it's pulling it back down to the Pepsi. So I'm going to stop this. I'm going to take the strength. I mean, I could just have a look at this. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me have a look at Chaos, Phoenix, that body force. Like, instead of just trying everything and hoping for the best, I could at least see what they say. A positive strength produces a force that pulls fluid towards a geometry object and can be used to make the fluid form the shape of the geometry. A liquid form the shape of a letter, number, or logo for an interesting effect. I'm probably going to put this actually inside. I wanted to have it outside, but I think I'm going to have it inside. Body specifies the geometry used as an attractor. Strength specifies the force intensity. Affects the points outside the body. The fluid accelerates constantly towards the body until reaching it. Max distance specifies the distance at which the force disappears. Okay. Fade start specifies the relative distance. Suppress. Yeah, the body's working and the body force is working. It's just not sticking it, right? Like, it's coming to it, it's just, I don't know. I want to think else. You must show that the text is closed. Yeah, it's closed, look. Yeah, I was thinking of that, but it's closed. I mean, if I isolate it and press F3, I mean, object properties, where are you? Turn off see-through. It's closed. There's no gaps. I mean, I can go to the border and select, and there's nothing. So there's no holes. And we can select to make sure it's not flipped. We can just try and flip the geometry, make sure it's not inside out. But I can see it's light red. It would be darker red if it was flipped. So where is it up here? So it would be like this if it was flipped. So it's the right way around as well. And there's no holes. I don't know what Polydoctor is. Yeah, it's Edit Poly. I mean, I've already done it. I've already converted it to Edit Poly. So I've done that already before. I have it on see-through just so I can see what's happening inside it. I can do. I'm gonna try one more, and then I'm just gonna figure it out off stream because yeah, now we know that for sure exactly. The body force. You reckon 5 is okay? Distance is just how far it can go. Did they say how to keep it in here? The drag force expresses velocity components. No, that's not important. To prevent the escape from the fluid. If this value is set to 0, the fluid attracted body will pass right through the body. Then it will be attracted back towards the body, pass through it again in the opposite direction, and so on. This parameter is not affected by the strength of the body force. So internal dampening is set to 0.5. Internal dampening, I don't know, how high does it go? 1 is the max. I mean, we can see if that's the problem. I'm not sure. We can just start this again. Go back in a sec. Probably TV is not the physical parameters, the problem in the kind of interaction. Yeah, it can easily be, right? I'm thinking it's not going to look great either if I've got everything else going on, you know? If I've got this, and then with all the water and the smoke moving in the background, if I've got something coming up through the middle, it's not going to be great. So I'll probably just take the Pepsi and just fill it out from the inside anyway and do it differently. But we see, because... Yeah, you're right. It has made 0 difference. Okay. All right, but I'll figure this out. I'll figure this out anyway. What is the utility tab? I'm searching Phoenix FD. Hang on. Utility tab. I'm not sure. Hang on. Chaos Phoenix utility. Oops. I don't know. I'm not sure what the utility tab is. Oh, in the utility tab up here, you mean? Hang on. Parameters, motion paths. Utility here, more Phoenix. Chaos Phoenix? No. There's nothing here. Okay, I'm going to end off. I'm going to figure out why I can't get it done, but I'm going to do that off stream. But thanks, man. It's been interesting chatting to you. So I'll figure it out, and then when I stream again, I'll probably stream again tomorrow morning for like an hour. I'll say what the solution is and what I did, yeah. But I'm going to change this anyway because it's going to be too confusing having the smoke come across the top, and we're just going to have it fill in from inside and then fill in the other text from the inside as well, and then have it kind of explode outwards. Not that utility? Okay, I don't know the other utility. I don't have one here. Like, there's no tab here for utility. I've got simulation, resimulation, grid dynamics, fuel, scene interaction, output, input, preview, rendering, and export. And these, the Phoenix source just have general. That's all they have. So, I mean, if I click on here, I just have these example scenes. Nothing. Exporting and preferences. Preferences. This is global preferences. Yeah, I don't. And down here we've got fire smoke, liquid, fire smoke source, liquid source, particle shader, body solver node. I'm not sure what that is, to be honest. Voxel tuner, forces, mappers, reader, starting it, and then these are all presets. On the right side, modifiers tab. Oh, here? I don't see anything here. I don't see anything for chaos. I mean, you do have, hang on, here, Phoenix FD. And is this what you mean? I got foam, liquid sim, voxel shader, active bodies, and smoke sim, but I don't know that's really that useful. I mean, it can be useful, but unless I'm just missing what you're saying completely, which is also a big possibility. But I think this is what you mean here then, right? Phoenix. But I think that's it. Okay, all right, I'm going to end the stream. And like I say, I'll figure it out and make it work. Okay, cool. Thanks a lot. Ciao.